Good afternoon. My name is Tony Pigford. I am the Executive Director of Engage 8. I'd first like to express my gratitude to the committee for this opportunity to testify about such an important bill. Engage 8 is a nonprofit that is the community outreach and organization arm of Denver District 8 City Councilman Albus Brooks's office. I am a fourth-generation Denver native and a third-generation product of Denver Public Schools. I graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School 2 years before the Summer of Violence and experienced firsthand the groundswell of violence that led up to that awful summer. I had classmates and knew other youth that were perpetrators of violence, and also had classmates and others that I knew that were victims of senseless violent crimes. I currently coach high school basketball at my alma mater and am also a mentor to a youth at Aurora Central High School. The young men on the team I coach and my mentee have a greater chance of being killed or going into the juvenile justice system than they do to attend college. In short, every day of their lives they beat the odds and are accustomed to not having a voice. Engage 8's work is focused in near Northeast Denver and District 8. As you know, District 8 is the most diverse district not only ethnically but economically as well, and we have an alarming amount of crimes committed by juveniles, some of which, frankly, necessitate direct filing, and there have been others where there was maybe no logical reason to do so. Looking at the disproportionate amount of direct file cases that affect our black and brown youth is reason enough to add another layer of oversight. In my opinion, those who oppose this bill, or have plans to amend it, feel as though they are taking a tough stance on crime. They feel as though they are advocates that are fighting for victims and their families. They feel as though the $250 million that has been spent on the youthful offender system has been money well spent. Although that's subjective because there hasn't been the required evaluation of YOS since 2004, and the statute states independent evaluations were to be done every 2 years. I'm all for crime prevention, advocacy for victims, and have no clue how effective YOS is. But this bill by no means works in opposition of those things. To quote Vincent Carroll of the Denver Post in yesterday's edition, opponents of this bill may feel as though, quote, it will be the end of our peaceful world if we are gullible enough to give Colorado judges a role in deciding whether to charge juveniles as adults. The barbarians will soon be storming our homes and besieging us on the streets, unquote. This is typical rhetoric and the use of fear to govern, rather than facts, that unfortunately has become a strong thread that is woven into our political and social fabric. 61 juvenile cases were tried in adult courts last year, which is a small number, and if those are the worst of the bunch, why is there so much fear-mongering and propaganda about public safety? So far, no one has explained why a judge would decide to overrule a prosecutor's desire to try dangerous, violent juveniles as adults. And if this bill passes and it leads to one single case where a judge overrules a prosecutor's decision to direct file a youth, and that youth benefits from the rehabilitation that's provided in the juvenile system, and is not exposed to things in adult jails while waiting for trial or held in solitary confinement, and is able to re-enter as a contributing member of society, then this bill is worth passing. The cost of what potentially could happen if a youth is forever damaged and shaped by what happens in the adult system, then gets out and reoffends, is a price I don't think our society wants to continue to pay. This isn't to say there should not be lots of thought for victims and their families. Their lives are forever shaped and damaged by the offenses committed. This bill may prolong justice a bit, as there will be time taken for a judge to review the case. Everyone in this room has hearts that go out to victims and wishes for swift justice and as much peace in their lives as possible. And this bill by no means is circumventing justice being served. It is simply adding a bit of time and diligence to be sure we get it right. We clearly as a society have many obstacles to overcome before our youth are collectively headed down a safe and prosperous path. I am grateful for the leadership that has brought House Bill 1271 this far, and know that it is a big step towards giving our youth a voice and judges the opportunity to be absolutely sure the decision to try a youth as an adult is the correct one. Again, I'm grateful for your time in allowing me to testify this afternoon. Thank you.